There is something so remarkable about a woman who walks with intelligence, not the kind measured by books or degrees, but the kind that shines through the way she carries herself, the way she speaks, and the way she lives. It is more than facts, more than achievements, more than recognition from the world. It is a light within her spirit, a grace that cannot be imitated, and a depth that cannot be denied. And when I speak of intelligence, I speak of wisdom clothed in gentleness, discernment wrapped in humility, and understanding bathed in strength. A highly intelligent woman does not merely react to life. She responds with thought, with clarity, and with purpose. She has habits that do not come overnight, but are cultivated day by day, often in the silence when no one is watching. These habits build within her a foundation so strong that storms cannot uproot her and trials cannot shake her. She is not perfect, but she is purposeful. She is not flawless, but she is faithful. And the habits she carries become the fragrance of her life, the unseen threads that weave together her strength and her beauty. One of the habits of such a woman is the practice of deep reflection. She does not rush into every conversation, nor does she hastily speak to fill the silence. She thinks, she weighs her words, and she understands the power that lies in them. She knows that a careless word can wound, but a thoughtful word can heal. So she pauses, she listens, and she discerns. She knows that silence can sometimes be louder than speech, and she has learned the wisdom of choosing her words with care. Another habit of a highly intelligent woman is the art of discipline. She understands that life will not always feel inspiring and motivation will not always knock on her door. But she rises with discipline, whether she feels like it or not. She builds her day with intention, not leaving her choices to chance. Her mind is ordered, her time is valued, and her focus is not easily distracted. She has learned that discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality, between who she is and who she can become. She is also a woman of emotional intelligence. She feels deeply, but she does not let her emotions control her. She can weep and still walk with dignity. She can rejoice and still remain humble. She does not pretend to be without feeling, but she refuses to be mastered by her feelings. She recognizes her emotions as signposts, not dictators. And because of this, she carries peace where others might carry chaos, and she responds with grace where others might lash out in anger. A highly intelligent woman makes the habit of continuous learning. She is never too proud to admit she does not know, and never too fearful to ask questions. She reads, she listens, she observes. Life itself becomes her classroom, and every encounter becomes her teacher. She gathers wisdom from experience, from failures as much as from victories. She knows that pride blinds the eyes, but humility opens the mind. And so she grows day by day, never stagnant, never satisfied with yesterday's knowledge. There is also the habit of discernment. Not every opportunity is worth her time. Not every voice deserves her attention. Not every path leads to life. She tests the fruit of what is set before her. She chooses her relationships with wisdom, for she knows that companionship can build or it can break. She understands that energy is precious, and she will not waste it on what is destructive. Her discernment shields her from traps, and her foresight keeps her steady. A woman of great intelligence also knows the habit of resilience. She does not crumble at the first sign of difficulty. She does not give up when the road grows hard. She has a strength that rises in the face of obstacles. She may bend, but she does not break. She may fall, but she rises again. Her setbacks become her stepping stones, and her scars become her testimonies. She has learned that suffering can polish the soul, and pain can birth wisdom. She is also a woman of kindness, but not the shallow kindness that seeks applause or recognition. Her kindness flows from a heart of understanding. She treats others with dignity, whether they can return the favor or not. She lifts others up without expecting anything in return. She knows that true intelligence is not cold and calculating, but warm and compassionate. For what use is brilliance if it does not touch the lives of others? What use is knowledge if it is not accompanied by love? A highly intelligent woman practices self-respect. She values who she is and refuses to diminish herself for acceptance. She does not compromise her worth for temporary approval, nor does she sacrifice her values to please the crowd. She walks with quiet confidence, not arrogance, but the assurance that she was created with purpose. And because she respects herself, she demands respect from others, not through force, but through the very way she lives. She has the habit of vision. She does not live only for the present moment, but sees beyond it. She looks ahead, she plans, she prepares. She does not drift aimlessly, but directs her path with intention. She understands that where there is no vision, people perish. And so she nurtures dreams, not fleeting wishes, but visions rooted in purpose. Her eyes see what others overlook, and her steps are guided by a sense of destiny. Her habit also includes gratitude. She does not measure her life only by what is lacking, but she treasures what she has. Gratitude makes her rich, even when circumstances are lean. She finds beauty in the simple things, joy in the small victories, and peace in the ordinary moments. Her gratitude shields her from bitterness and protects her from envy. For she knows that comparison steals joy, but gratitude multiplies it. A highly intelligent woman practices patience. She understands that not everything must be rushed. Not every answer must come immediately. Not every dream must unfold today. She waits with trust. She endures with strength. Patience is not weakness to her, but wisdom. She knows that the finest fruits take time to ripen, and the deepest roots take time to grow. She does not despise the waiting seasons, but embraces them as preparation for what is to come. She also has the habit of courage. She is not reckless, but she is brave. She dares to step out when others shrink back. She dares to speak truth when others remain silent. She dares to stand alone if that is what is required. Her courage is not loud, but steady. It comes not from the absence of fear, but from the resolve to move forward despite it. A highly intelligent woman values solitude. She does not fear being alone, for she knows that in solitude she finds clarity. In the quiet, she gathers her thoughts, she renews her strength, she listens to the still, small voice within her. She does not seek constant noise to fill the emptiness, because she is not empty. She cherishes moments of stillness, knowing they give her the strength to return to the world with greater depth. Her habit also includes adaptability. Life is unpredictable, seasons change, doors open and close. She does not resist change with fear, but embraces it with wisdom. She adjusts, she learns, she evolves. She does not cling to the past when it is time to move forward. She does not stubbornly hold onto what no longer serves her. She flows with life, flexible yet firm in her values. A highly intelligent woman practices forgiveness. She does not chain herself to bitterness or resentment. She knows that holding grudges poisons the soul. She forgives, not because the other deserves it, but because she deserves peace. She lays down the weight of offense so she can walk freely. She understands that forgiveness is not weakness, but strength, and that mercy is the mark of true greatness. She also has the habit of humility. She does not parade her intelligence before others, but allows it to shine quietly through her actions. She does not need to prove herself, for her life speaks louder than her words. She is approachable, teachable, and willing to admit her mistakes. Her humility makes her relatable, and her wisdom makes her admirable. A highly intelligent woman values her health, body, mind, and spirit. She knows that her body is the vessel through which she must live her purpose, and so she honors it with care. She feeds her mind with truth and her spirit with hope. She does not neglect herself in pursuit of others, for she understands that she cannot pour from an empty vessel. She tends to herself so that she may better tend to others. And above all, she makes the habit of faith. She believes in something greater than herself. She trusts in what she cannot see and hopes in what she cannot yet hold. Her faith anchors her when the world around her shakes. It gives her direction, strength, and peace. It reminds her that her life is not an accident, but a masterpiece in progress. The habits of a highly intelligent woman are not grand gestures performed once, but small choices lived daily. They are woven into her conversations, her actions, her relationships, her decisions. They are seen in her strength and in her softness, in her laughter and in her tears, in her courage and in her compassion. They form her character, they shape her destiny, and they leave a legacy that cannot be erased. A highly intelligent woman has the habit of seeking truth, no matter the cost. She does not live by illusions, nor does she cling to comfortable lies. She searches for what is real, even when it challenges her, even when it stretches her beyond what she thought she knew. Truth is her compass, and she refuses to let deception guide her path. She recognizes that truth may not always bring ease, but it will always bring freedom. And so she clings to it with both hands, letting it illuminate the darkest places of her mind and soul. Her life is also marked by consistency. She does not live swayed by every wind of emotion or circumstance. She is steady, predictable in the best sense, reliable and dependable. Others can lean upon her because she does not change with every mood or drift away with every storm. Her constancy builds trust in those around her, and her word carries weight because it is backed by her unwavering actions. She has learned that brilliance without consistency is but a flickering flame, but consistency makes brilliance burn bright for a lifetime. A highly intelligent woman practices the habit of curiosity. She never loses her wonder at the world. She looks at the stars with awe. She studies the details of life with fascination, and she asks questions as though every answer is a treasure to be discovered. Her mind is alive with possibility because she refuses to stop exploring. She listens to perspectives different from her own, not to argue, but to understand. She steps into new experiences with courage, and she grows because her curiosity leads her into places others might never dare to go. She has the habit of discerned boundaries. She understands that saying yes to everything is not wisdom, but weakness. She guards her time, her energy, her heart. She knows that boundaries are not walls of isolation, but gates of protection. They keep the good in and the destructive out. And because of this, she is not drained by constant demands, nor is she controlled by others. She has the strength to say no when it is necessary, and the grace to say yes when it is right. A highly intelligent woman carries with her the habit of adaptability in conversation. She can speak with the young and the old, the scholar and the laborer, the powerful and the forgotten. She adjusts her words not to impress, but to connect. She knows that communication is not about proving oneself, but about bridging hearts and minds. Her words are not shallow rehearsals, but living waters that flow from understanding. She has learned the habit of listening, truly listening, so that others feel heard, seen, and valued. There is also within her the habit of intentional choices. She does not drift through life aimlessly, waiting for things to happen to her. She chooses with care, knowing that every choice carries consequences. She does not waste her time chasing what does not matter, nor does she settle for what is beneath her calling. Her decisions may seem small, but they build her destiny one step at a time. And because she chooses with wisdom, her life reflects purpose, not accident. A highly intelligent woman cultivates resilience of the spirit. She is not crushed by rejection, nor does she crumble under criticism. She learns from it, takes what is valuable, and discards the rest. She understands that not everyone will understand her, not everyone will accept her, not everyone will applaud her. And she is at peace with that. Her validation comes not from the shifting applause of men, but from the inner knowing that she is walking faithfully in her path. She has the habit of compassion for herself. She does not speak harshly to her own soul, nor does she allow the voice of shame to destroy her. She treats herself with kindness, with forgiveness, with patience. For she knows that how she treats herself will often determine how she treats others. She accepts that she is still growing, still learning, still becoming. And because she extends compassion inward, she has compassion to give outward. Her days are marked by the habit of focus. She does not scatter her energy across countless distractions. She knows how to eliminate what does not serve her purpose. Her focus sharpens her mind like a blade, allowing her to accomplish what others cannot. She does not live in constant business, but in meaningful productivity. And because of her focus, she produces fruit where others only produce noise. A highly intelligent woman nurtures creativity. She may not call herself an artist, but her life itself becomes art. Creativity flows through her ideas, her solutions, her words, her actions. She finds new ways to solve old problems and fresh perspectives where others see only dead ends. She embraces the beauty of imagination, knowing that creativity is not foolishness, but a reflection of deep intelligence. Her habit also includes integrity. She is the same in the dark as she is in the light, the same in private as she is in public. She does not wear masks to please people, nor does she pretend to be someone she is not. Her integrity is her strength, and it shines brighter than any farce aid could. Because of her integrity, people trust her. Because of her integrity, her influence endures. A highly intelligent woman cultivates the habit of generosity. She gives of herself, her time, her wisdom, her resources. She knows that true wealth is not measured by what one keeps, but by what one gives. She does not give to be seen, but because it is her nature. She lifts others with her words, encourages them with her presence, and blesses them with her kindness. She knows that a generous soul is never poor, and that in pouring out, she herself is filled. She also carries the habit of reverence. She honors life, she honors others, she honors the sacredness of the human spirit. She does not trample on what is holy, nor does she treat lightly what is precious. Her reverence gives her life depth, and her respect for others opens doors of influence. She walks gently but firmly, knowing that every soul is a creation of immense worth. A highly intelligent woman embraces the habit of stillness in the midst of chaos. While others may be tossed about by fear, she finds an inner calm. She breathes, she pauses, she grounds herself. This stillness is her strength, for it allows her to think clearly, to see clearly, and to act wisely. She does not allow panic to be her guide, but peace to be her anchor. She cultivates joy as a habit, not as a fleeting emotion. Her joy is not dependent on circumstances, but rooted in something deeper. She can laugh in hard times, smile in struggles, and find light even in dark places. Her joy becomes contagious, a balm to those around her. She has discovered that joy is not found in possessions or positions, but in the very posture of the heart. A highly intelligent woman builds the habit of respect toward others, even those who disagree with her, even those who oppose her. She can hold firm to her convictions without belittling another. She can disagree without dishonoring. She knows that respect is not weakness, but strength, and it sets her apart in a world where disrespect is common. Her life is shaped by the habit of responsibility. She does not blame others for her failures, nor does she run from accountability. She takes responsibility for her actions, her choices, her words. And because of this, she grows stronger with each mistake, wiser with each lesson. Responsibility gives her authority, for those who can govern themselves are prepared to lead others. A highly intelligent woman also holds the habit of perseverance. She presses on when others give up. She continues when the way is long, when the night is dark, when the finish line is far. She understands that the greatest victories often come not to the fastest or the strongest, but to the one who simply refuses to quit. Perseverance crowns her with success, and endurance marks her with strength. She has the habit of empathy, the ability to step into another's pain, another's joy, another's perspective. She feels with them, walks with them, understands them. Empathy softens her heart and deepens her wisdom. It teaches her that intelligence without compassion is cold, but compassion with intelligence is transformative. A highly intelligent woman practices authenticity. She does not hide behind masks, nor does she strive to fit into molds that were never meant for her. She embraces her uniqueness, her individuality, her truth. Authenticity gives her freedom, and freedom gives her power. Others are drawn to her because she is real, because she is unafraid to be herself. Her life is also marked by the habit of hope. She looks beyond present struggles to future possibilities. She believes that better is ahead, even when evidence seems scarce. Her hope carries her, sustains her, and lights the way for others. She becomes a beacon, reminding those around her that no night lasts forever and no storm is endless. And through all of these habits, she reveals the beauty of true intelligence, not merely in her mind, but in her heart, in her spirit, in her very being. A highly intelligent woman cultivates discernment in her relationships. She knows that not every person who enters her life is meant to stay, and not every voice deserves her ear. She can love from a distance without bitterness, and she can release those who drain her without hatred. Her intelligence gives her eyes to see beyond the surface, to recognize intentions, to sense motives. She understands that companionship is powerful, and she will not walk closely with those who cannot walk in truth, for she knows that iron sharpens iron. Because she is selective in her relationships, her circle may be small, but it is rich. She does not measure worth by numbers but by depth. Her days are filled with the habit of observation. She notices what others overlook. She sees patterns. She catches details. She remembers words that others forget. She studies the world not merely with her eyes, but with her spirit. Every moment is an opportunity to learn, every encounter a lesson to be stored. This habit of observation makes her wise beyond her years, for she has gathered more than information. She has gathered insight. She carries within her the habit of responsibility toward her own growth. She does not wait for others to change her life, nor does she expect the world to hand her opportunities. She knows that she must cultivate the soil of her own soul, water the seeds of her own potential, and guard the harvest of her own destiny. She takes charge of her inner life, tending it carefully, so that what flows out of her may bless others. A highly intelligent woman practices the habit of discerned speech. She knows that words are seeds, and what she sows will surely return. She speaks with intention, blessing rather than cursing, building rather than tearing down. She is not careless with her tongue, for she knows it has power. She has learned that silence often holds more wisdom than an unnecessary flood of words. She does not waste her breath on gossip, nor does she use her mouth to wound. Her words are measured, seasoned, and full of meaning, and because of this, they carry authority. She lives with the habit of awareness of time. She understands that time is the one resource that cannot be restored once lost. She does not squander her hours on trivialities, nor does she chase endlessly after meaningless pursuits. She redeems her time with wisdom, investing it in things that last, in things that build, in things that carry eternal weight. She treasures the fleeting moments and refuses to take them for granted. Her intelligence is revealed through the habit of embracing change without fear. When seasons shift, she does not cling desperately to what has ended. She lets go, she adapts, she moves forward. She understands that change is not the enemy, but often the vehicle that carries her into the next chapter. She does not resist what is inevitable, but works with it, flowing gracefully like water around the rocks. She is pliable without losing her strength, flexible without losing her identity. A highly intelligent woman carries the habit of intention in her presence. When she enters a room, she does not simply fill space, she carries atmosphere. She brings peace where there is unrest, hope where there is despair, light where there is darkness. She is fully present with those around her, not distracted, not half-hearted. She listens with her eyes as well as her ears, giving the gift of her undivided attention. Her presence itself becomes a healing balm because she has cultivated the habit of being intentional with her energy. She is also marked by the habit of discerned vulnerability. She is not afraid to show her humanity, to admit her weakness, to reveal her struggles. But she does so with wisdom, knowing when to open her heart and when to guard it. Her vulnerability is not recklessness but courage. It allows her to connect deeply with others, to break down walls of pretense, and to remind others that strength is not the absence of weakness, but the ability to rise in spite of it. A highly intelligent woman lives with the habit of perspective. She sees the bigger picture, refusing to be trapped in the moment. She does not let temporary setbacks define her, nor does she allow fleeting success to deceive her. She knows that life is a tapestry, and each thread, dark or bright, has its place in the whole. Her perspective gives her balance, allowing her to remain steady in the highs and lows. She can look beyond the immediate pain to the greater purpose, beyond the fleeting joy to the eternal truth. She has the habit of self-control. She does not allow impulses to govern her, nor does she allow every desire to dictate her steps. She disciplines herself, knowing that mastery of self is the greatest mastery of all. She does not yield to every temptation, nor does she indulge every craving. Her restraint is not born of fear, but of wisdom, for she knows that true freedom comes not from doing everything one wants, but from choosing wisely. Her life is also shaped by the habit of preparation. She does not live unready, waiting for opportunities to find her. She prepares for them, so that when the doors open, she is ready to walk through them. She sharpens her skills, deepens her knowledge, strengthens her character. She does not despise the quiet seasons of preparation, for she knows they are essential. She understands that greatness is not born in moments of applause, but in the unseen moments of practice. A highly intelligent woman practices the habit of respect for wisdom that came before her. She honors the voices of those who have walked the path ahead of her. She listens to the lessons of the past and learns from history's failures as much as from its triumphs. She does not dismiss the wisdom of elders, nor does she despise the simplicity of timeless truths. She recognizes that intelligence is not innovation alone, but also reverence for the foundations upon which we stand. She embraces the habit of mindfulness in her daily life. She is not lost in constant worry about tomorrow, nor is she enslaved by regrets of the past. She is present in the now, fully engaged, fully alive. She finds joy in the taste of food, in the sound of laughter, in the rhythm of a quiet morning. Her mindfulness allows her to live deeply, to savor, to appreciate. She is not consumed by hurry, but by depth. A highly intelligent woman carries the habit of healing,